Hey everybody, Eric here from the MMG. We're going to do some tips and tricks for Noble Fates. This is was a suggestion from a viewer, Quillaw. I want to give you a shout out. Thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, so getting started with this game, there is a lot. It's not like a super complicated game. There's a lot of things that you do want to make sure you're doing correctly. We're going to start at the very beginning here where you actually pick your ruler. Especially starting out, you don't really know what your best option is going to be, right? So you can scroll over them and look what they like, see their strong opinions. You want to look at those. You want to make sure you pick someone who doesn't hate orcs or humans, the two main races in this game. Because otherwise, if they hate one or the other, it's going to be really hard to form relationships. Like this one right here, look, he hates humans. Strong opinions, he likes raw beef. He would not be a good leader. He'd be really hard to talk other people into joining your guild with him as leader. If you come over to him, he likes, human skin, raw human. He's an orc. He doesn't hate humans, but he likes orc skin, so he likes a lot of things. Anybody that has a lot of strong opinions is going to be a lot easier to talk other people into joining your group. And also, if their alignment's good, it's usually easier. But it kind of also depends on how you want to play your game. Like, are you gonna capture enemies when they attack you, when they raid you? Are you gonna, try to turn them into, I forget the term that they use, not basically workers for you? Are you gonna try to turn them in and keep them, and eventually maybe invite them into your group? Or are you just gonna like lock them up, put them in prison, or even worse, you're just gonna execute them, right? Those things and those choices have big impacts on what other people in your colony think of you, and other colonies, other groups around you. So you do need to be careful, but you need to make sure that your starting people here all have the same alignment of how you want to play. So kind of think about how you want this play style to be. Are you going to be evil? Are you going to be good? And then look for someone who's got a lot of strong opinions and doesn't hate either humans or orcs, unless maybe you just want to play all human colony. Well, then go for that. That's fine. It's going to make it easier. So kind of look at that and think about those choices when you're going to go pick a leader. Okay, let's move on to the next tip. Next tip, right behind this one, right after you pick your ruler, one of the people in your group is going to almost always hate that decision. I think it happens no matter what. And they're going to leave. So you get the option of, yes, you can let them leave with supplies, without supplies. It shows the reactions from the other people. No, we can detain him. No, we can execute him. Lots of thumbs downs there, right? Like, even I don't like it. Like, the leader I picked is Mama Oot. So, honestly, to start out with, and you're not going to be lacking supplies, I almost would always let them leave with supplies, unless you're playing evil and you want people to hate you, then maybe execute. But I would always let them leave with supplies. You don't want to start out with extra enemies at the beginning. Okay, another tip is when you get started, you want to kind of pick an area that's kind of flat, and you're going to want a lot of wood, so don't feel bad, deforesting the area, because you're going to be using that wood anyways. This area right here is really hilly. I would not want to move and build anywhere around here. But I think once I get all these trees cleared out here, this will actually not be a bad spot. So kind of look for a flat area around you to build and start taking out forest. And the other thing I want to mention, the other tip, is when you start out, you want to click on jobs. And autonomous is very tempting, but you don't want to use that starting out because you want everybody logging. And so, like if I hit autonomous here, I'll show you. So you can see it takes away these people from logging, so they're actually not doing anything right now, or they're not logging, which is what I want them to be doing. So you want to uncheck that and put that down as one of their tasks to do, one of their job assignments. That way they're going to help you log at the beginning. Now, when you get a larger colony and you have people doing individual jobs, you want to specialize this to their strengths. And you can use autonomous then, and you'll probably be fine. So it kind of just depends. But early on, you definitely want to turn that off, and you definitely want to assign people to do the, the basic of logging and harvesting and crafting and all that stuff. That way you can get that stuff rolling. And I do want to mention, make sure you do the tutorial. It'll pop up and ask you if you want to do the tutorial. Definitely do it, because it walks you through most of this basic stuff at the beginning that I'm going to skip, because, there's a tutorial for that. There's no reason for me to cover it. Alright, the next tip is you want to have a large building to put a large stockpile like this. You want to put anything in there that has a short shelf life. So food, some of this stuff doesn't have a short shelf life, but a lot of it does. Cooked food, stuff like that. And then I keep one out here that has the longer shelf life, like 11-year decay for wood and 18 for stone, different stuff like that. That stuff all stays outside in just a storage area, because being inside doesn't really matter. That's such a long time away, and that stuff's not going to decay. It's going to get used first. At least I would hope, right? But anything that's got a shorter shelf life, like these berries here, 4 years, they're inside. So that gives them a bonus. I think it's only 1 year without, if they're outside or something like that. So you do want to get that built. That is always my first structure, is building a warehouse area that's got beds, and it's got like my crafting tables and stuff, and then all my main supplies in the middle. That way it'll keep everything fresh, and everything's close by. They don't have to go far to get materials. And then the beds are there because it's just like the first structure you build. But you will want to start making individual cabins when you get them built. And they have different tiers. If you click on them, it shows you like what it takes to build them. And you know, they give you more prestige. So the nicer ones you build, the better. Once you start getting these built, you're going to want to start assigning them. So go to the belongings here, and you'll see here's a cabin. So I could give, you know, Cardinal Christoph here my another cabin. And it gives them 43 ranks. So that's one thing you definitely want to do. Start making cabins for your people. That gives them, raises their prestige, it makes them happier, and then, you know, you can start adding stuff to them to make it grow up even more. Next step is to train your guards. So every time you make a training dummy, you can set it to be either a melee or a ranged training dummy. And the other thing you want to do is you want to come down to jobs. And you want to pick whoever your best guard is, which is the guarding skill right here. And you want that to be like one of their only assignments. So they're constantly practicing and working on their guards. And so like what I would do is I'd turn autonomous off here. And then I would come over here and say I wanted it to be this one 6. They don't mind doing the guarding. That's actually me, Christoph. I want to actually uncheck most of this. I would leave firefighting on and nursing on. But then I would uncheck the rest of them. Get rid of crafting. Make guarding number 1. And that's really it. And so I take this off for sure. Cleaning could go off. And that. There you go. Now you're going to see Christoph is going to come down here and start practicing on the training dummies because he wants to level up his guarding skill. And you're going to need a lot of warriors, right? You need people to fight because you're going to get attacked. And you need to defend your kingdom. So you need the guards. So that's how you can set up like a dedicated guard that's going to level up that skill and be a better fighter for you. The other thing I want to mention is you want to make sure they have good gear, right? So make them a good sword, get some high level armor for them. You know, give them the equipment that they need to help defend your kingdom. Here's another thing that's easy to overlook is the learning tab down here. If you scroll in on it, you can kind of see the things you need to do other things. So someone has to learn wooden doors to be able to unlock stone doors and find wood walls and all this stuff. You can kind of follow the tree and see what you need to do. You can also make sure you have the right person doing that, right? Learning that skill. So you may have to go to the jobs tab and basically assign them to that job so they're the one actually learning it. The next tip is inventory, because when you craft new things, you have to actually give it to your followers. And so I do like how when you scroll over this, it tells you who wants this. So like Barth, Roy, and Zach there, 3 thumbs up if I give that to them. They really want this. That's going to increase their opinion quite a bit. And then if you like, so right now I have Rose selected. Let me click on Barth. If you see the launching Breacher Leather Curious, 23 for them. If I give it to Barth, 91 prestige bonus. So huge difference. So one thing you do want to make sure you check is come in here every once in a while after you've crafted for a while. Make sure you assign the gear to the right people. You can also see what's equipped here. You can make things preferred. Say I want them to use their Shoes of Hauling. I could prefer it, and then once I went unlocked, then they would actually go and equip that item and then make it their primary use. And then you can also take things from people because that will become a thing. But you do want to be careful because even if they're not using an item, it still is giving them prestige. So you don't want to take a bunch of stuff from them. Inventory management can get to be a lot. You definitely want to build storage for your people inside their houses so they can store their excess stuff. And it's not just in general storage taking up your precious stock. Alright, and here's a tip for you when you're ready to defend or do combat. If you actually click up here on the people, and then you can hold shift down and click on the other people, you can select more than one at a time. If you see down in the bottom left, it says Rock Warrior Nobles ×8, showing you how many I have selected. So you can actually select all your people, and then come down here and hit enlist, and now they're all ready for battle. And what I recommend, if you're defending, you want to all get in the same building. So maybe if I'm defending this door, let's see where these enemies are coming from the south. So I actually want to defend the south door here. So I'm going to put them all inside. That way they don't all get into me and attack me at the same time. I see they have a lot of archers, so if you have people set to be archery, you probably want to set them up to actually be unloading on this group. But right now, as you can see, I have one in the doorway and I got a couple people attacking them. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to actually back up a little bit so that one person gets inside. That way you can get more. There we go. Now we're all on them. And you want to tell everybody to attack the same target. That's going to help you take them down faster. Alright, and my final tip here is when you're trying to recruit new people, when you have visitors, if you click on your tab up here for visitors, you're going to see some people, like these are the Sliver Wanderers, and Sliver's actually here, so he's the leader of the Sliver Wanderers. If I would try to sweet talk Gran into joining my guild, and he does, then everybody from the Silver Wanderers are going to be upset with me because I stole one of their clanmates, right? But if I actually sweet talk Sliver himself, what happens is it splinters that kingdom, and so then Gran here would become his own kingdom, and then I can sweet talk him. So if you can get people who aren't in kingdoms into your colony, or maybe are their own kingdom, that's going to be ideal. It's going to create less pressure for you. You're going to get less hatred from the other kingdoms, which is what you want. You don't want to be at war with a bunch of people, otherwise you're just going to be doing nothing but defending against raids. Alright everybody, that wraps up our tips and tricks for Noble Fates. It's available on Steam right now. Pick it up for $20. It's 20% off. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you did. Have yourself a happy holidays and stay safe.